What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Edgar Berlanga. Padraig Mccrory. This was a nice, nasty little scrap between Ireland versus Puerto Rico. And let me counterpunch round one. We had a fill-out round pretty much. Mccrory landed a good right hand. These guys looked like they were kind of unsure about how they were going to engage, really just filling out what was going to take place for the future. Okay, the right hand landed. First round belonged to Mccrory. Then the second round, Berlanga comes back and lands a series. He lands a left hook and a right hand, or a jab and a right hand. And also, Mccrory lands a left hook that kind of shakes up Berlanga a bit. And that lets Berlanga know that, hey, I just can't rush into this fight. Like, whoa, what's really happening with this? This guy can crack a bit. Third round, okay, Berlanga starts getting off with the right hand. You know, and what I noticed about Berlanga, he didn't load up with the right anymore. What he decided to do was he decided to just throw it. You know, throw it without telegraphing it. Throw it from the shoulder. You know what I mean? Just throw it. Bow, let it go, and he landed. Okay. And he started landing that. We noticed Mccrory's left hand was down, so those rights were all night. Fourth round, Berlanga started doing some low blows. The elbow got in there, which was real nasty. The referee, I think, was a bit too lenient for that because, you know, you had the elbow, then you had a couple low blows. Okay, so by the fifth, you know, of course, Mccrory was already complaining about, you know, the low blows because he low blowed him at least 3 times in that fight. You know, and but they still kept going. And I also noticed, you know, after the third that Berlanga, you know, he had a cut over here, and that might have been from the left hook that he was rattled with because he was knocked off his stance, you know, for a while. You know, I think he was a bit disturbed by that punch. You know, it got his attention definitely. Okay, and round 5. Berlanga started landing the right hands because he started to realize that the defense was starting to, or the defense really wasn't as tight as he thought it was going to be. And Mccrory wasn't really letting his hands go. He was trying to pace himself. Round 6, Berlanga catches him with a left hook, hurts him, catches him with a right hand, you know, and he gets him into the ropes. Mccrory does land some shots in between that gets Berlanga's attention. But nonetheless, Berlanga's like, screw it. I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing because I think I can take him out before he catches me with something that takes me out also. So he catches him. Berlanga throws a right hand at the same time. Mccrory tries to throw a uppercut and gets nailed. Then he stops in his tracks. Then he gets hit again. Out goes Mccrory. Okay, and that was, like they say, was that. The towel was thrown in. He wasn't going to beat the count. If he did, he wouldn't be suitable to fight anyway, which was a good stoppage. Berlanga showed that, hey, there's another guy that he's like he said, he's bagged a live body. Berlanga calls out Canelo after the fight, people. And I think that Berlanga is the kind of guy that may get that opportunity simply because Canelo doesn't want to have to chase anybody. Doesn't like slick boxer movers, and Berlanga is not. He's a brawler. He's a puncher. Okay, so I think Canelo may give him what he's asking for since he called out Canelo Alvarez, Mexico versus Puerto Rico. But I do want to add this. Okay, I want to add this to the equation. Jaime Munguia is a guy that's also Mexican, and he's also, you know, game opponent, and he's also at 168. You didn't hear him at all, and I just wonder why. You know, I think that Jaime Munguia would definitely be, you know, a opponent that is reasonable in a fight that could happen, and it's still the same, Mexico versus Puerto Rico. And I'm not really a big fan on these guys just shooting to the stars, you know, lottery ticket. Because what happens when he fights Canelo Alvarez, he turns into an automatic millionaire. That's what happens, you know. But the question is Edgar Berlanga ready for that right now? You know what I mean? And I think, based on what we've seen from Edgar Berlanga, he's not. Even when a diminished Canelo, which we're saying, he's not the same as he was a few years ago. He's not. But he's still good enough to beat this guy. You know what I mean? Unless he can hurt Canelo or Canelo just gets totally butt old overnight. Right? Because he's still 33 years of age. He's been fighting since he was 15 professionally. So, to do the math, I think it's time for Canelo to be showing the wear and tear effects on his body anyway. But Berlanga knocks out Mccrory in 6 rounds. Great knockout. Very impressive. I think he needed it. He called Eddie Hearn the GOAT. So that was very impressive. But what are you going to do? Because he knows Eddie is in close contact with Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo Alvarez does what he wants. Let's see if he chooses to do Edgar Berlanga. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Edgar Berlanga versus Padraig, Mccrory, and their showdown. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!